Sister Ada from the Communication Department for Gospel Mission My Phone Queen. And for the past weeks, we have been talking about purpose. Today, we would like to show you an interesting person who is very resourceful and is actually putting this aspect of purpose into practice. And the topic we have at hand, it's LICHA. What does it stand for? Life Changing Humanitarian Association, with the motto, Changing Life Through Humanitarian Services. They offer skills orientation for the poor and the vulnerable, premarital and marital counseling, and lots more. Well, we won't want to take much of your time because we still have a resource person who will be giving us much when it comes to this topic. But you can locate this organization when you get to the Health Center Junction, My Phone Queen. You just throw a few letters from the road and you'll get to the office. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to LICHA. This is the head office. Let's go in and find out more what they offer.
The bosses in the Security Council say you shall never have the powers that we have as reform the Security Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are right in the heart of LICHA, and here with me is the CEO, shall I say that, sir? And the founder of LICHA. He will be talking to us to tell us more about LICHA, what they offer, their services, and how you can be part of it, and lots more. Just stay tuned and stay connected. It's a privilege for me to be here, sir.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure is mine.
All right. For the sake of our viewers, do you mind introducing yourself?
Okay, my name is Promise Fonjum. I'm the founding president and chief executive officer for Life Changing Humanitarian Association, LICHA Cameroon. LICHA Cameroon is a non-profit, non-political, and non-religious making association. We are out to see how we can be like a liaison, we can act like a liaison between the poor and the rich in the society, given that some of us were not privileged to grow up in families where they were well-to-do and going through kind of suffering in life, and we thought it wise that it is better to be a bridge to others. Like when you go through something bad, you try to help others or prevent others from going through the same situation that you went through, and that is what LICHA is all about. So we are here to enhance skill, alleviate poverty, and to change the life of persons from disadvantaged background positively.
Oh wow. From the motto of this organization, which says changing life through humanitarian services, that's right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So tell me, is that connected to your purpose in life? Considering the fact that we have been talking on purpose these past weeks.
Exactly. Purpose is something that any person who finds his or herself on earth, if he or she is not purpose driven, then that person is not worth living. And finding purpose is, to me, is one of the most easiest thing one can do in life. It just suffices to go back to your creator and ask God, why did you bring me here on earth? Because I remember in the book of Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 1, if I've not made a mistake, God told Jeremiah, before I formed thee in the womb, I had ordained thee a prophet. It does not only remain in the circle of the church. It goes all around in the world. There are people who are born politicians, there are people who are born medical doctors, and born footballers and all whatnot.
That's
But
right.
now we always go through this life and just drift into it without accomplishing our goals because we don't know our purpose. So I'm a living testimony of somebody who knows what he came here on earth to do. And that took me 8 months of fasting and prayers to be able to identify my purpose. And that is why, apart from my profession as a teacher, trained by the government and paid by the government, I find joy in saving humanity, in changing the life of persons from disadvantaged background.
Yeah.
It is what I'm ready to give my life for, what I can die for, I have no regret.
Wow.
Like helping others to alleviate their situation from poverty to riches, helping them to discover themselves, identify their potentials, and exploit them to the fullest.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, talking about changing life through humanitarian services,
Exactly.
Can you tell us the instances, the things that you do, the services that you offer that go a long way to change the lives of the population and those you reach out to?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very important question because most often people like just feel an NGO humanitarian is a way of for someone to make riches. Like they believe that you just write a project and once it's funded and you get money to yourself. No, we are not out for that. And so we have three important aspects through which we operate. The first is education.
Wow.
And in terms of education, we try to help children identify their potentials. We
Okay.
try to give them orientation. Which system of education is best after they leave primary school? Is it technical? Is it grammar? And we do that based on their purpose, based on their potentials.
Okay.
So the first aim is career orientation.
Oh, wow.
Because some of us, we study what we didn't like to study.
That's
We were
right.
compelled to do it because of the poverty nature of our environment and because of our background.
Okay.
So we're compelled to follow others to do what we didn't want. So after realizing that we did something which we don't find happiness in it, we had to come back and study what we find happiness. And so we are trying to bridge that gap so that others don't fall into that same trap.
That's right.
And that's why our first services is education.
Wow.
And I concur with Nelson Mandela when he made the asset that education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. So we believe that we can change lives of persons from disadvantaged background by giving them the right education.
Oh, wow.
And we also involve in what we call skills acquisition.
Okay.
For those who already made mistakes and fell into the wrong direction, for those who are school dropout, like young girls, teenage mothers who are school dropout, who were got engaged in early marriages and so on, who do not believe in Western education. Now, what we try to do is we give them orientation on which skill to acquire.
Okay.
Like we have people that we have trained in baking and pastries, people who have trained in hair dressing, in fashion designing, and computer studies.
Okay.
So when we give them orientation and they're able to identify what they can do that will help them to give them sustainable income, we send them to acquire skills in that direction, and at the end we try to establish them, give them petit capital to start their own businesses or to start their own self-employed jobs.
Wow, that's great. That's so great. Oh, wow. So those are the only services you offer, or there are more?
Yeah, we also do like the society today. You see, marriage has a lot of problems.
Okay. Yeah.
So we this at this center we have a counseling department. They are specialized in doing what we call pre-marital and marital counseling. People who want to get married, they come to us and then we allocate them to counselors. We try to counsel them on what marriage is all about before getting into the things you need to have in your mind so that you don't get to regret at the end. We see out there are a lot of divorces. And so we are trying to make the world better, to change life by identifying those problems that are occurring on a daily basis and finding sustainable solutions to them.
Wow.
And for people who are like at the verge of divorce or divorcing, they also come here. We attribute them counselors. They counsel them, tell them how to go about the situation, and so on. I think those are the primary services that we offer here.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah, apart from humanitarian aid to the old and vulnerable persons.
Okay.
Like we have some mothers above 50, 60 who are very weak and vulnerable. They cannot move, they cannot do anything. So from time to time we try to pass around and give them information, give them the assistance that they need.
Wow. So you also offer aids to them.
We also offer aids to them.
When you talk about aids, does it only limit to money, or you provide them with some basic materials? That
Our aids are not limited to money, and the only people that we give money to, which they don't even touch, are the students.
Okay.
Like we pay for their fee, like those who are acquiring skills, we pay for their services, we pay for their training fees, and we try to acquire for them to acquire their skills. Okay. Now, when I talk about aid to the old and vulnerable, what we do is, if they have medical attention, because we also have health sector.
Okay.
If they have medical attention, we provide access to medical facilities, and we provide food to them, and so on. Those are the basic things they need just for survival because they are already very old.
Okay.
So we give medical attention, access to medical attention,
Okay.
and we provide food.
Wow, wow, that's so awesome. Permit me to ask, what are the criteria for selecting the beneficiaries of this organization? Like, what are the type of people that can benefit from LICHA, the services?
Yes, LICHA has a very stringent means of selecting those who benefit. We are not out to impress people or impress the community. We are out to meet a target. And our target are people who come from disadvantaged backgrounds.
Wow.
The less privileged, the orphans, the widows, and young girls who are school dropout, who are living under very inhumane conditions.
Okay.
So we have a team of volunteers who go out into the community.
Okay.
And they do need assessment.
Oh, wow.
So we make sure that our our products or our services are delivered to the rightful people. So we don't like try to like see what others do. They come for food for IDPs and people who are non IDPs are getting none. We ensure that we meet the right population.
Wow, that's awesome, and that creates a difference between a purpose-driven organization and one that is out for money. Okay, I also like to ask, maybe you have partners, people who are aspiring to contribute or to participate in LICHA. What are the criteria that one can become a member or a volunteer rather in the LICHA organization?
Yes, for you to become, first of all, we have partners that we work with because a man is not a self-made individual.
That's right.
All what we are or what we become is a collective ideas, a contribution from so many sources that makes us successful in our vision. Now we work with the parliamentary councils, we work with the Ministry of Social Affairs through the regional delegation, we work with the Ministry of Women Empowerment through the regional delegation, and we work with other local organizations around. We just try to come together, put on ideas, and then we see how we can go into the communities to develop our environment. And now for you to become a volunteer, it suffices for you to like compile a document, a handwritten application with this curriculum vitae and your credentials. And then we will get to scrutinize it with the cover letter. So we get to scrutinize it and we see if your intentions meet our vision. If that is done, we get you as a volunteer on a condition, because we have a law, a binding constitution legalized by the government that binds us how we operate.
Wow. So, okay, we'd like to know, how can we get to you? How can some beneficiary get to you?
Getting to LICHA is very simple. We have our contacts, we have our Facebook page, and so you just write to us using our email address, go to Facebook and you get our information, or you go to our website, all the ministry information is there. You write to us, or you call the numbers that are on the website or the ones that are on the Facebook page, or write us through WhatsApp, passing through Facebook or whatever means, and we will get to you.
Any last words for the viewers?
Well, I just want to appreciate you people for coming and to tell the televiewers that LICHA has been doing a lot. There are a lot that LICHA has done concerning this crisis, like giving food to internally displaced women, training them on baking and pastries, helping them to acquire skills, and helping children who are not privileged to go to school to acquire education. And we are calling on all individuals, people who have and don't know where to go to join us, for us to reach out to the community. We are just a liaison between the poor and the rich. So when you get to us, what you want to do, it will meet the rightful targets. And what you want to offer to the society, we will help you to offer it to the rightful quarters.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to talk with you. And I believe that this message will go a long way to bless or to reach out to somebody. We'll have another session again with him, but for now we want to call it a day. Bye-bye.